The question, are Christians a good reason for not being Christian? Or are Christians a good reason for not becoming a Christian, is a very good question. I think it is very relevant. I think it is a question that we should willfully embrace. It's something that we really need to look at, because a lot of times the characteristics and the life of the Christians that are, professing Christians are commonly different from what a Christian should be. And it gives an unbeliever a good reason for not being a Christian. I believe Gandhi had a life experience where he went into a church and they told him he couldn't come and go into the church because he was not of the right race or the right ethnicity. So they told him he had to leave. And from that day, he vowed to never visit another Christian church. And of course, he popularized the statement that basically it's not Christ that he has a problem with, but it's Christians. He liked Jesus Christ, but he does not like Christians. Well, he has a very valid point. There's no question about that. Especially as we read in our Bible that we are supposed to be the lights of the world. We're supposed to be the testaments, or the witnesses rather, to Jesus Christ. He has a very valid point, and that's not something that we can denote. However, is that a reason to not be a Christian? Is that a reason to not follow Christ? Well, our Bible, our sacred book, tells us that each person is going to have to give an account for the deeds that they have done in their body, meaning they have to give an account for their own life, not the life of someone else, or what was reflected or what was personified by other people. Basically, whenever we stand before our Creator, there will be no means of justifying ourselves for the things we have done in this body that were contrary to what God told us to do. So to state that Christians are not what they are supposed to be is a very good point. It is a very relevant point. It's something that we all need to look at and embrace and correct. But to use it as a means to not be a Christian, that's a very weak point, and that's not something that you will be able to use whenever you stand before God. Surely you will be able to point out our wrong, and you'll be able to point out the wrong of modern Christianity, but you will not be able to hold God accountable for the things that man does or men do. You won't be able to use that as a pass for not obeying the call of Christ and not obeying the tenets of Christianity. Whatever man does, it has no bearing on whether or not God's word is true, or whether or not he is a true and righteous and holy God. He has proven that already, and that claim can never be diminished, no matter what man does or what Christians do. We can't take away who God is and how righteous and holy he is. So the ultimate responsibility is to the individual. You have ultimate responsibility to, as Peter preached, save yourself. No matter what the generation is doing, no matter what the people are doing, no matter what the religious folk are doing, you have the responsibility to save yourself. And whenever you stand before your Creator, and believe me, you will have to give an account for the things you've done in your body. So I want to encourage you, hey, take it seriously. All right. Look at it for what it's worth, and be a solution to the problem rather than an actual addition to the problem.